Hey everyone, it's the Eclectic Handyman. Today we're going to do a radiator flush and fill on any 2012 to 2020 Dodge Grand Caravan. Let's get into it. Alright, here's what we're going to need to do the flush and fill. I highly recommend going ahead and getting the Mopar coolant. It's the right type for the car. You don't have to worry about mixing colors and then having to do it again. It's just the easiest route. I've also got the Prestone coolant system cleaner or flush. This is not the super aggressive one. The car hasn't been sitting that long. It's not that bad. I just want to get it cleaned out. And then I'm going to need a bunch of distilled water so that I can do the cleaning process and then get it all rinsed out. I also like to have a little bit of a 3/8 inch inside diameter fuel line that I'll use to direct draining the coolant. It just makes it less messy, but it's not a requirement. Next up, we need to make sure that the engine is completely cool. You don't want to be doing this when this is hot. It can be dangerous when you take this cap off and you're draining it, or just too hot for the coolant coming down. So give it several hours and let the engine cool. Next up, we're going to get it up off the ground so I can get under it, and we'll be draining it from a screw outlet at the bottom. So let's get under there and get it going. Okay, so I've chosen to only lift up the passenger side. That's because the drain petcock is on the driver's side. So this will put the correct pitch of the car so that it'll drain the most amount of coolant. And I've secured with a jack stand on the frame rail. And now it's time to go start draining it. I'm also going to go ahead and remove the radiator cap. Got pressed down on it. That'll let the system breathe as we drain it, as well as make sure that the reservoir cap's popped open. Okay, under the driver's side here, and that is the coolant reservoir. That little red screw is what we are going to loosen. And as you can see on the bottom, there's a little nipple there. That's where we're going to connect our hose to direct the flow so that's not splashing all over this frame rail. Listen, you don't have to do this step if you're in a hurry, but it might be worth heading over to the parts store and just grabbing a piece of hose if you don't have one. Again, I got about 3 feet worth. So let's go ahead and get that hose connected and loosen that. You can drain it to any container if you got old milk jugs. That'll help prevent this from being a super messy project. Okay, so I have the line on there. I think if I did this again, I would get vacuum line instead of fuel line. It's a little tight squeeze there. I'm probably gonna have to hold it in place, but it'll still serve its purpose. And then I have it directly into the drain pan. All right, so I've got a flathead screwdriver. I'm just gonna go ahead and loosen that up nice and slow. Remember, make sure that it is not hot. All right. And as you can see, we are draining our coolant and not making a mess. We'll wait for that to finish, and then we'll go ahead and fill up the radiator with distilled water and the Prestone cleaner. All right, it's finished draining, so let's go ahead and tighten up that petcock so we have a sealed system. There we go. All right, so just showing you the owner's manual here. The coolant system takes about 13.4 quarts. That's roughly 3.3 gallons. Now remember, you're not going to be able to get everything out. There's going to be some left in the heater core, some in the reservoir, and just maybe some lingering in the block. So the amount of distilled water we're going to need is probably about 2 to 3 gallons for each time. So we'll use that to flush, and then we'll do that a couple of times, and then we'll also have plenty left over for the concentrated coolant that I got. You can get the pre-mixed if you want. A little cheaper to go with the concentrate, and we can mix it together. But first, we're going to start with the Prestone cleaner. We'll dump that directly in the radiator. All right, so we'll pour the cooling system cleaner directly into the radiator. Just go ahead and pour the whole bottle. And then I'll go ahead and pour my distilled water directly in the radiator as well. And we'll do this until this is full. And you can always burp the upper radiator hose so that you can keep getting some water in here. Now, because we're not going to be doing much more than idling this car, we don't have any real big potential to overheat here. We just need to make sure that it's full. All right, once it fills to the top, we'll go ahead and start the car and let it idle for about 30 minutes. We're going to do the same process that we do when we fill it finally. We're going to leave the cap off at first until that thermostat opens up, and I'll continue to top it off with my distilled water. Also, over here in the Degas bottle or reservoir bottle, you are going to want to add some there too. You don't want it to pull air into the system. So we're just going to do it up to the cold line, which you can see from the back side over here. So just make sure that this is not completely dry and that you do have some of that filled up to the cold line. So we are good on both sides. Again, I'll keep topping this off. So let's go ahead and get the van started since we're full, and let this idle for 30 minutes so that the cleaner can circulate through the system. One other thing, don't throw away your empty jugs. This will help you later if you've got concentrate coolant that you can do 50-50 mixes with these. So these are helpful. Make sure each time you're running the car to have the coolant flow through that you do turn on the heater to high and let that run while the car is idling. What this will do is allow the coolant to flow through the heater core and ensure the entire system is either getting flushed or burped and there's no air in there. If at first this starts to run over a little bit, you may want to have a catch pan under the car so you're not making a mess, and again, you can kind of burp the system, get some of that air out of there. This isn't about the final fill and about getting it all perfect. We're just trying to get that coolant to circulate. Once that drops down, I'll put that radiator cap back on. All right, so once the thermostat opened and I could hear it click, I had to add almost an entire gallon of distilled water to the system. So that's very normal. Again, got about another 20 minutes of this running, and then we'll drain it. All right, we've got it draining once again, and this should have all the cleaner in it. And you can still see there's quite a bit of the old color, even though we put distilled water. That's why it's important to do this a couple of times. Just to spare you some extra video, I'm just going to repeat the same process, but without the cleaner. I'm going to put more water in it, start the car up, let it run for a few minutes, and then I will let it cool and drain it again. Before I refill the system, I also want to drain the Degas or overflow bottle right here. It actually has no bolts on it. You can see I can start to just pull it out in place, but this upper radiator hose is probably going to be a little bit in the way. So I'm just going to lift off this cover, which you do for an oil change anyway. I'm going to undo this clip, try to move it behind, and then just pull it straight out. There we go. Thing's a little bit of a booger. Be careful, the hose might still be a little bit hot. And actually, instead of moving it in front, I don't have that kind of flexibility. Let me see if I can just pull it up this way. Little hose in the way there. There we go. Come on through. And there is one coolant hose right here that we're going to have to pull off. So let me go ahead and do that, and then we can drain from the top. So that one coolant hose is right there, and I've already just twisted it by hand. Now I should be able to fully pull this out. A little bit of finagling, but there's enough work. And there we go. And now, if there's any residual down here, I can drain this out and make sure I get fresh coolant in here. Reinstallation is easy. Just note those little tabs on the bottle. And they line up with these slots. They just go in and slide down. That's what keeps it in place. And make sure to reattach the hose as well. All right, so I'm ready to mix up my new coolant, and I'm ready for everyone that says, but wait, before you do 50-50, there's gotta be some water left in the cooling system. There's no way you would have gotten it out of everywhere in the engine, and you are correct. I didn't drain the block, did the best I can. So what you wanna end up doing is basically maybe going a little bit heavier on the antifreeze coolant side than the distilled water side. Now, ultimately, if you're in this camp and want to be precise, then you need to get something like this, like a optical refractometer that's going to tell you what your freeze and boil point is physically based on the coolant that you have in your system. I'll make a video on using this later, but if you want to be that exact, or you can get one of the bulb type with the little balls in it to see where you're going. So anyway, yes, add maybe just a hair more of the antifreeze, because we know there's usually about a quarter of a gallon to roughly a quart of water that'll be left in the system. I'm going to go ahead and get this mixed up, and it's time to fill it up. So go ahead and fill it directly at the radiator neck. We'll fill this till it's full, and we'll also fill the reservoir to the cold mark. Then we'll be able to start the car, burp the air out of it, and continue to top it off. Excellent. The radiator is topped off. The reservoir is up to the cold line on the bottom. Time to start the car. Now, one of the things that we'll be doing, you see that little thing that looks like a plus? We'll take a long screwdriver and we will go down there. That's on the thermostat housing. You will turn it counterclockwise, open, like that, to let air bubbles out during this procedure. So I'm going to go ahead and use this long screwdriver for that. So let's get it started. What we're looking for is once that thermostat opens again, this is the time we want to get it completely full and no air bubbles. So once that thermostat opens, you'll hear it go clunk, and then this will go down quickly. Then we'll want to top it off, let the air bubbles out of there, then put the cap on to pressurize the system. Once again, during the final process, make sure you have the heat on while you're idling the car to burp the air out of it so that the coolant runs through the heater core. And it's normal when you're in this first part before the thermostat opens up for a little bit of this to come out, so make sure you've got a catch pan under so you're not making a big mess. And during this as well, you want to burp this top radiator hose to get all the bubbles out, because what we're looking for are the bubbles to come out of the system. We want it to be completely full of our brand new coolant mixture. Also, as mentioned before, we can bleed it from the top of the thermostat housing, so you can open that up quickly. You'll see it's hissing and spurting out. Once you have a steady stream, you can close that back down as well. That will drop the coolant up front so we can add a little bit more. Anytime it drops down, we want to add some more. Again, that'll happen before the thermostat opens up. It's bubbling out. Again, burp it. Any minute now, we'll have the thermostat open up, and that's going to go way down. We'll probably have to add almost a gallon. And there we go. Just heard the thermostat. You heard the click. Now I'm going to add the rest, get it topped off here. That's sending it through the channels in the engine, so that's why we're adding quite a bit here. And just be careful, that is hot. We'll burp it again. There we go. Open back up. Again, you want to make sure you have plenty on hand. There we go. And this is about the time that I'm going to go ahead and put the cap on once I get it topped off so that the system gets pressurized. And then it'll let it run on its own. All right. Burp it a few times. It's very hot. Be careful. Let's go ahead and get that cap on. Excellent. All right, there is one other method that we can fill up and purge the system of air. Now, I didn't bring this up at first because the manual method is free and it's easy, and I'm trying to prevent you having to buy some tools, and you might be doing this and watching this video and you haven't had a chance to buy one of these. But if you can invest the $20 or $25 ahead of time and get one of these, it's probably worth it, because as you've seen, the big, huge mess that happens as it expands before the thermostat opens and it's spilling all over the place, you're going to end up spending a lot of time with one of these cleaning up the floor. So this works pretty easy. All we end up doing is connecting it here. It has an adapter. It will remain full, and as it needs coolant, it will pull it into the system, and you can continue to top it off. These are really simple to use. All the kits that have the universal adapters work really well in the Dodge. All you do, I like this one, it's color-coded. You put it in, it's got a little bit of a seal. You can push it down. You'll go ahead and align the notches. Once it's aligned, you can tighten it down, and easy does it. We can put the funnel on top. This is just a little stopper so that if you want to stop the fluid, and then when you're done so you have a no mess, no spill, you can just put the stopper in, take it away, and complete the process. So I'm going to fill it up, not all the way to the top. I'll fill it up about a third-ish full. If this starts to dip, you just continue to fill it, but from here. And let's go ahead and start the car. So with it full, I've got the engine running. One of the things this helps with too is you see the bubbles will come up is it's really easy to get air trapped in the system. And again, that will look like overheating, or maybe the heater isn't working, which just means there's an air pocket and it's not circulating through the heater core. So this will allow a full system purge that makes it a little bit easier. But you can absolutely do the free method by burping the system, and that way we just, we can use it the way we were doing it before. All right, the fan is kicked on, the thermostat opened up, and this thing is just draining down. That's the fluid that's being pushed into the system and not air. So very, very functional. But again, we can use the manual process as well, but I did want to show you this because it is a heck of a lot cleaner. So if you got the money to invest in this, it's probably worth it. I'm gonna go ahead and let the car run for just a few more minutes, shut it off, and we'll wrap it up. All right, so we're all done with our project. We've flushed it, we've cleaned it out, we've filled it with brand new coolant. Everything's good to go. The last thing to do is, once it's cooled down completely, take that radiator cap off, just top it off again, put the cap back on, and also make sure that the reservoir is at the proper line when it's cold as well. If you have any problems, if it starts overheating or anything, you probably have an air pocket and you want to go through that bleed procedure again. Anyway, hope you found this helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Check out the other videos on the channel. Until next time, this is the Eclectic Minivan. We'll see you later.